Hello, Thunder Wizards. Okay, so is this 22A? Manifestation Mastery Series number 22A. I'm going to talk to you about a really powerful technique. I've tried to put into words what it is that I do to manifest exactly what I want in my life. And by the way, that is your destiny. If you're a human being, if you're breathing, if you can hear me watching this, doesn't matter who you are, what you believe, where you came from, how old you are destined to be able to simply manifest whatever it is that you want. And you don't have to work to make it happen. You don't have to feel yourself into it. You don't have to pray yourself into it. When you are in alignment with your true essence, which sometimes takes a little training, when you are in alignment with your true essence, you just simply become aware. You ask yourself, what is it that I want? And once you become aware of what it is that you want, it will come to you. And it will seem as though it appeared magically somehow. You know, as you're going through it, it'll be making sense, and then you'll look back on it and you'll go, hang on a second, this shouldn't be happening to me. I mean, things shouldn't be so easy. So this is your destiny, to be able to simply, I'm choosing my words carefully, because if I say will your desires into existence or manifest your desires, that has the assumption behind it of working, pushing to make something happen. The reality is that you are simply acknowledging to yourself what it is that you truly want. Not what you think you want, not what you try to invent, not what you think other people should think you want. That's what most people do. But when you become aware of what is already inside of you and when it wants to come out, then what ends up happening, imagine that you're sitting on a dial, right? And whatever arrow you're facing toward is what manifests, and you might be chaos, challenge, wherever it is on your dial. If you're not on any direction except for the one that's directly connected to your soul, you're going to have, either challenge, difficulty, hit and miss, boring, something's off, imbalance. When you are in balance, it's like you're on this wheel and the wheel spins and locks into the direction that connects and your soul explodes with power, and all of a sudden things start seemingly coming to you effortlessly. I'm going to explain to you a method of understanding how that is, and watch this video all the way to the end, because I'm going to then direct you to a video which will give you a precise meditative technique so that you can do exactly what I just said. Align your soul to the we'll call it the direction that your soul needs to go. Once you do that, it magically puts you in a position to things just start coming to you without any effort. So to help you understand what I'm trying to explain, I need to share with you the concept of how the ancient Polynesians used to sail. So, most people sail by, way back when, they sailed by the stars. They set their course to a star and they aligned to a certain star and they went off in a direction. And so they saw themselves going over the sea. They saw themselves being pushed by wind over the sea to where they wanted to go. The Polynesians, as I understand it, had a very different understanding. It was much less effort. The way that they saw it was that they would simply align their boats toward where they wanted to sail, and then they would pull the earth or the sea underneath them. So they weren't moving, but it's like the earth was rotating towards them. And so the experience was that you have this experience like you're going through the ocean, but in reality you're in one place and the ocean is rotating and the island that you want is coming toward you. Isn't that a beautiful way of looking at it? It takes out a lot of the effort. You don't have to do it. So that's why in the beginning I was cautious with my words, because if I talk about being able to will your desires into existence, or you're going to manifest your desires, or even attract. There's a ton of work involved in that if you go by the typical law of attraction definition, which says that in order to get what you want, you have to align your feelings, thoughts, and emotions and intentions to align with the vibration of whatever it is that you want. And when your vibration matches the vibration of what you want, it automatically comes to you. It's a lot of work involved. I won't get into all that, but I actually came to the conclusion that that was a very disempowering understanding. You've heard me, if you're new to this series, go back and watch my other videos about manifestation and the law of attraction. And the short answer is that it's too much work to try and get your feelings to constantly align with what you believe to be the vibration of what you want. Listen, and I have nothing against it. If you are thinking about prosperity in your life, and the thought of prosperity brings you happiness, peace, and joy, please, by all means, enjoy those feelings. Do not try and stop those feelings. Allow yourself to have them. But what happens if you can't? What happens if you can't get excited, or you can't get happy, or you can't get joyous about whatever it is that you want? Then we're left in this place of it can't happen, because now you're depressed, you're pessimistic, you're tired, you're angry, you're guilty, because there's a lot of guilt involved. It's like religion. If you don't have enough faith, Jesus says, if you ye of little faith. And so there's all this guilt associated with not being good enough, not having enough faith, not having the right emotional vibration or thought form vibration. There's a lot of guilt associated with that, so it ends up being a lot of work. So let me once again just remove from you the need to feel a certain way. You don't have to feel anything. And let me also take away your need to have to be to believe. You don't have to have faith. You don't have to believe. In fact, if you go up here to neo.thunderwizard.com and you follow all 4 of the steps that I give, if you follow all 4 of those, it doesn't matter how you feel. If you follow my directions to the letter, even if you feel like you don't believe, you don't trust, you're afraid, you're angry, you're frustrated, you're disillusioned, you can have the worst possible feelings you can imagine and still manifest instantly everything that you want. It's really important that you understand this. So this is another way to look at it. So imagine that you're a Polynesian sailor and you're going to get on your catamaran, or those boats that they used to sail in. And you're going to sail from Tahiti to New Zealand, because I believe they did. They sailed from Tahiti somewhere in the South Pacific. They then made their way to New Zealand. That's a long way. Now, from their perspective, what they did is they aligned themselves to New Zealand and then pulled New Zealand towards them. Now, what I'd like for you to understand is that you have this ability as well. Remember the symbol that I had of you're sitting on this dial. And depending on where the dial ends up turning, that's where you'll be aligned. You'll be aligned towards half-assed manifestation, boredom, challenge, whatever it is. Anything other than what it is you truly want, what your soul truly wants, you're going to be aligned. Maybe you'll get some of it some of the time, some of it not. But, honestly, if you're watching this, listen, if you have the ability to just simply think about what you want and everything that you want comes to you, you don't need to be watching this video. You don't need to be learning about manifestation. You're doing it. You're already aligned and you don't need to think about it. That's the great thing about it. When you do get aligned, you don't even have to think about it. It happens. This is true. I was talking about this today when it comes to karma. When I say the word karma, what comes to mind? When I say the word karma, what you think of is bad karma. right? And so when anybody throws up the word karma, that's what comes to mind. But there is no such thing as good or bad karma. There is only that which is the result of your thoughts and your actions, your intentions. Notice I didn't say the word feelings. Your intentions, your beliefs, your thoughts, your actions. All of these things create consequences that must be fulfilled. Now, when your karma is working for you, every single breath that you take successfully is good karma. Every successful meal that you eat, every successful, anytime that you sleep, or if you're living underneath a roof, you have food, you have electricity, your phone works. When things are working for you, just every moment of the day, your body, there's millions of things going on in your body all the time. All the cells of your body are doing things, your organs are functioning properly. This is all the result of karma. But when it's functioning, you don't even think about it. You're not aware, okay, my lungs are breathing, my heart is beating, my liver's getting rid of toxins. You're not thinking about that unless you're ill. In which case you feel your kidneys, oh, my kidneys hurt. You feel your liver, you got a pain in the liver, you got a stomach ache. Then you're aware of all of your bodily functions. But when everything is working well, you're not aware of it at all. You're just going through life, but yet all those things are happening. This is karma. This means that the small percentage of karma that you associate with bad, you're not getting the money that you want, you don't have the love that you want, you don't have the peace of mind that you want, whatever it is that you don't have or that you do have that you don't want, and you think of bad karma, that's the tiniest fraction. So the same is true with manifestation. You are manifesting everything. Take a mental inventory of all the things that you do have. All right? Do you have a place to live right now? If you're watching me on a computer, you probably do. Maybe it's not the place that you want to live in, but you have a roof over your head. You're not freezing to death or burning to death. Do you have, like me, can you just pick up a glass of water and drink some water? You don't think about that, but without it, you'd die. There's good karma right there. Think about all the things that you have that are working for you. They come effortlessly. You're only worried about the things you don't have. So the point is that the universe is the same way. The universe is continuously giving you all kinds of resources that keep you alive, but we don't even think about them. And you don't have to. Here's the great thing. When everything works for you, all you're required to do is just enjoy it. That's it. So, I'm experiencing that here where I am. I just made a shift. I'm here in Australia, and my body loves it here. Now, I didn't realize that until I started getting kind of worried about some, minor garbage details in my life. And I stopped and I wanted to ask myself, just take a spot check and say, am I happier here than I was in California? And the answer is yeah, my body feels really comfortable here. Like, I can't remember the last time I felt so empowered and relaxed all at the same time. So I make that mental note. That's karma working for me, positive karma working for me. That is the result of my actions, getting myself here. I knew I wanted to be here. Okay? So, I want you to imagine that you have your highest destiny, that which will bring you your greatest happiness, your greatest soul desire, that which will make your soul blissfully joyful and happy. It's out there. You just have to align yourself to it. You may not even know what it is. Let's go through the formula again. You want to know what your soul desire is, what God's will for is, what you're supposed to do? Here's the formula. First off, you have to create a fantasy land so that you can do the exercise. Number one, in your fantasy world, you don't have to worry about money. So you don't have to get a job just to survive. You don't have to marry somebody. You don't have to finagle anything to get money. You're in fantasy land. There's no money required. Everything is available to you. You want a mansion, a car, food, whatever it is you want, it's there for you. You don't need money. Number two, you don't have to meet anybody's expectations. You don't have to make anybody happy. You don't have to make God happy. You don't have to make your parents happy. You don't have to make your friends, your spouse, your government, even the thoughts in your head. You don't even have to make your own head happy. You know, my head does that. Oh, you didn't work hard enough today. Oh, you're not this, you're not that. That's just garbage in my head. But I don't need to make that happy. I need to make my soul happy. So you don't have to have any money. You don't have to follow anybody's expectations on you. And three, you can do whatever the heck it is that you want, no matter how irrational or impossible. So, if you didn't have to make money, if you didn't have to please anybody, if you could only do what you wanted and you could be or do anything you want, right now off the top of your head, what is it that you want to do? Whatever comes to mind is what your soul wants. That is God's will for you. That is what you are supposed to do. Now, the good news is, since your soul already knows what it wants, you are guaranteed to have this if you can align yourself to your soul. And that's the big if. And that's what I mean by sitting on the wheel and turning the wheel so it aligns and clicks. The click is when you click into what your soul truly wants. Then imagine this beam of light comes out of your heart center and connects like a laser beam to that desire, whatever it is. Being married, having kids, being prosperous, surfing the South Pacific, being Mr. Olympia, whatever it is. Whatever it is, when you know that your soul wants that, and then you align yourself with it, you align your life with it, meaning that you say to yourself and allow yourself to go, that is what I'm going to have. I commit myself to that. Then imagine this magical laser beam comes shooting out of your chest and your desire, and now you have this string of light that literally you just sit back and let your soul pull you or pull it toward you. That's how it works. That when people say go with the flow, that's what it really means. It doesn't mean go with the flow of whatever's happening around you. That's a passive way of doing it. If you're living in chaos with abusive people, that doesn't mean you're just supposed to relax and go with the flow of the abuse that's happening to you. No, it means go with the flow of what your soul wants to do. And the good news is, when you are able to do that, first you have to be consciously aware of what it is that you want. Then you align your life to that soul desire. Then what will happen is, if you do have craziness like that in your life, guess what? Those people are going to end up not in your life very long. They will either leave, or you will be given the power to leave them. When you commit, again, you have to make the decision. The challenge of this life is that even if you know what your soul desire is, throughout your life you will always be forced to make a choice between what your soul wants and what you think other people want for you, which means sometimes what you think being a good person is. Many times when you become aware of what your soul wants and you go after it, you will feel guilty. You will feel like a traitor. You will feel like you're harming your family. You're being a bad person. You're killing God. There's a woman that was that wants to get into an argument with me on my channel, and I finally just blocked her because she's gone kind of loopy. But I guess she was watching my channel for a while, and then she came out and started saying that I was possessed by demons and that Satan is doing this and that and all kinds of stuff. And when I read, if you look for it, you'll see what I'm talking about. She talks about the soul desire, but what I know happened is that she started to get in touch with it, and because she has been programmed not to follow her soul desire, her experience was she was getting attacked by demons, and so she went over and created became a born-again Christian and then decided to come back and tell me how wrong I was. This is how hard your unconscious mind will fight you when you become aware of what your soul desire is, because on an unconscious level, you've been programmed not to do what your soul wants, but to fit in to the machine. Ever since the first empire that came about, not too long after the last ice age in Mesopotamia, the Sumerians, the first real empire on the planet Earth. Ever since that time, there has been a push, and it took a couple of thousand years, almost. How many thousands of years it took? Maybe it took 3,000 or 4,000 years before you had the rise of the Roman Empire. The Roman Empire perfected it. And we are now, whether you're Russian or whether you're American or whether you're Chinese, it doesn't matter. You are still operating from the template of the empire that was created by Rome. They perfected it. To be a part of the Roman Empire, your job was to be a good citizen, which meant that you had to knuckle under and be part of this giant one world machine. You have been programmed to do this. And I was just talking about this a couple days ago with one of my apprentices, how before Christianity took over Western Europe, my ancestors believed that your job was to go and take what you wanted from life, to be a conqueror, to go out and conquer your world and conquer your life. And there was no sitting around waiting for God's will. That was not part of their thought process. And it is now, right? People wait around to get a sign from the heavens to show me what is my purpose, what is God's will for me. And people sit around and, why doesn't God love me? He won't tell me what my purpose is. That because it's not part of our makeup, it's not part of spirituality. That is part of politics. Empires want you to wait until you've been told what your place is. Oh, you're a coal miner. You are a car mechanic. You're whatever it is you're supposed to do. Communism is a really great example of that as well. I have a friend who, after the Cold War ended, he went into what was East Germany. Those of us who have been around long enough remember that there was an East Germany, and it was communist. And he went in there to teach, and he said that they were just worthless because they had been trained to have somebody tell them what they're supposed to do. Because you're not supposed to have your own will. You're not supposed to have your own ideas. You can't. The empire doesn't work that way, and communism is an empire, by the way. I've said this before. The only difference between fascism and communism is that one is run by the people, and the other one is run by the rich cats, the rich fat cats. It's the same. You end up with a group of people, a very small group of people, usually one person at the top of that, running everything. But it doesn't matter if it's on the left or the right. This was the whole dream of democracy. Democracy is supposed to stand in the middle between capitalism and communism. So capitalism taken to its extreme is fascism. And communism is taking away everybody's rights and making everybody part of the machine. But there's still always the rich oligarchs. You never get rid of those people. They're always there. And the ideal is in the middle you have democracy, where people create their own government. But it has its own weaknesses, as we're seeing, because a democracy, the freedom inherent in democracy makes it vulnerable to the attack of ideas. Anyway, we're not here to talk about politics, but so what you want to do in order to manifest your life exactly as your soul, because whatever comes out in your fantasy is exactly what is supposed to happen. I'm telling you from personal experience. What a lot of people do is they have their fantasy and they go, oh, That's really nice, but I don't think I can have that. Maybe I can have like half of that. And then they go into a place that I call compromise land. But I'm telling you that you can have absolutely exactly what your greatest fantasy is. In fact, your destiny, your spiritual destiny is to be able to do that. When you become truly spiritual, truly enlightened, then you have this inherent ability to bring it to you, whatever it is. This is your destiny, okay? So in the next video, I'm going to be sharing you a specific meditative technique that you can use to do what the ancient Polynesians did in their sailing, and you can bring your desire to you. You can just, you don't manifest it, you don't try and make it happen. You bring it to you so that it seemingly comes to you on its own. It's not even attracted to you. It's just you're connected to it and your heart just simply reels it in. Okay? So that's going to be in the next video. To get to the next video, you go to neo.thunderwizard.com and you click on the number 4 link, or you go to thunderwizard.com, click on the Manifestation Mastery course, and then I believe it's 22B is the video. This one is 22A. Okay, so go to thunderwizard.com, click on Manifestation Mastery course, and I'll give you this exact technique that you can use to just simply pull your deepest desire toward you. Okay, I'll see you there.